Okay. Don't get mad at me, Tito. Cheaters never win.
The Raiders and Broncos rivalry is as bitter today as it was in its heyday in the 70s, when an established Oakland team clashed with the up-and-coming Broncos.
We had to beat the Raiders. Guys that were injured would get ready to play against the Raiders because we need everybody we could to play the Raiders.
I think they hated us more.
Hey, I hate the Raiders. I hate them. Oakland Raiders, I hate them.
Who didn't hate the Raiders, right?
But then again, they were easy to hate. They dressed in black, which made them look bigger than life. They had some guys who were real characters on that ball club. And I think that physically, I had never run into a ball club like that when we began to play.
The only way a rivalry ever heats up is both teams are good. When Denver was down, it wasn't a good rivalry.
Denver didn't stay down long, sparked by the emergence of their hard-hitting defense. But hard hits were old hat for the Raiders.
When they released the ball, Tatum hit him. It was unbelievable. The contact and the sound that I heard. He was angry. I said, man, great hit. What's wrong? He said he didn't drop the ball.
Who was public enemy number one for the Raiders?
I think probably the most despised Bronco probably at that time was probably a guy named Tom Jackson.
Well, quite naturally on Denver, there was no guy on the field that had a bigger and louder mouth than Tom Jackson.
Tom Jackson was a tremendous athlete that talked all the time, always jawing, always to trash talk.
And I can't ever remember coming out of that locker room without telling them, I intend to kick your ass today.
Jackson's bluster was backed up when the Broncos finally blew away the Raiders in Oakland.
They were ahead of us, beating us last quarter, and they had a chance to go for a field goal.
Mark Braden comes up and he says, and I mean he was serious, man, Coach, it's time for that play. And I said, Coach, what the hell play you talking about? He said, well, the play we practiced this week, you know, where we fake the field goal and throw to Jim. And he looked at me with those eyes and he said, Coach, it'll work. And I looked at him back with an even stare. And I said, Coach, it damn sure better work. Jim in his big black top shoes, black high top shoes, he's running down the left sideline. I mean, there is nobody within miles.
Turner wide open, catches the ball at the 50. He'll score a touchdown. The grand old man has done it.
Denver's orator extraordinaire exulted in victory at Coach Madden's expense.
He ran by their bench, and the famous quote, it says,
It's all over, fat man. I said, that's it. It's done.
Further fuel for the rivalry's fire was added by Denver's fanatical fans.
That Orange Crush group was tough in Denver. They were very tough.
They would know, when you were getting ready to go out and stuff, and they'd start stamping their feet, and you're trying to talk, and boom, 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 and you'd have to go out the door and they'd throw stuff at you.
They would just pelt you with everything they had up there.
We got bombarded by about 30, 40 snowballs, and, we turned around, all the people are booing and cussing at us. Get the hell away from me, Jack. They're throwing at you. I said, no, John, they're throwing at you.
The defining moment of this matchup came in 1977.
We knew that this was going to be the ultimate test for this franchise.
Haven Moses had saved his best for the best, catching 5 passes for 168 yards and 2 decisive touchdowns.
Haven Moses is the first thing that comes to mind. His long catch down the sideline, initial moments, opening minutes of the game, starts to put us in a frame of mind, and yeah, we can get this done.
When Oakland recovered a fumble by Rob Lytle and the officials awarded the ball to the Broncos, Raider rancor reached a boiling point.
And the following day in the Oakland Tribune, here's the big picture with the fumble clearly out of his hands while he was trying to jump across the line.
For Denver, the emotion from that game transcends time.
We have had championship teams, we've had Super Bowl teams, but that first one, I don't think anyone will ever forget that.
All right, the Broncos, they always crush the Raiders. By an average of 21 in those 7 wins. How about the 97 Heisman Trophy finals won by Seawood? Manning's there, Leaf's there, and the sunglass Randy Moss. Seawood, he just turned 39 this week, but no picks against Peyton.
He's eluded me for 18 years, and it'd be great, you know, it'd be even better, you know, if we can come out with the victory, but man, it'd be great to get my hands on one of Peyton's balls.
Well, guess what? End of the first half, Broncos going in for the score. Who got him, Prime?
Seawood, one of the best to ever do it, baby. You can at least get one of the two. You get the picks, you definitely ain't getting the win.
That's number 63 in his career. On to the second half. Manning looking deep downfield and he got him again.
That is a great play.
Wow.
That's a great.
That's big time.
He's one of the best to ever do it.
Wow.
Now tied with Ed Reed for the 6th most in NFL history. 64 career INTs for the future Hall of Famer. On to the fourth. Raiders down just 2. Derek Carr gets it picked off. And that's Chris Harris going for a pick 6.
He's out of here.
How good is this Denver defense? Number 1 in the league coming in.
Oh, it's good. They can lock you down on the corners, and they can pass rush, too, to help them out.
Key defensive scores in week 1. What about the Broncos? No Peyton for the 4th straight game. How's that walking boot? How is that walking boot? So Brock trying to become the first quarterback since Big Ben 10 years ago to win his first 4 starts. Had guys open in the red zones like Virgil Green. They had to settle for 4 McManus field goals instead. Raiders held to minus 12 total yards in the first half, but down just 12 zips. Yep. Third quarter, Derek Carr, Seth Roberts, who's really been coming on the last few weeks. Anybody have him on this fantasy team for the playoffs? Didn't think so.
Amari Cooper.
Oh, gosh.
Where is he at?
Then it's Osweiler, Demarius Thomas. He's got a case of the cough season.
Charles Woodson is always there to pick up the fumbles.
Wait a second. Charles Woodson, a former Heisman Trophy winner?
Is that the theme today?
Well, yeah. All right, Mooch, we're halfway through the show, and you're finally figuring this out?
Yep.
There it is!
There it is.
He bested Peyton Manning that year.
You're out graduating high school.
Oh, my God. Get out of here. Then Carr. Sack by Barrett. That's a 12-yard loss.
That's a bad sack on 3rd and 1.
Yeah, so the Raiders are out of field goal range. They have to punt. Well, 2 Broncos drives later. Osweiler hit by Khalil Mack. Oh, no!
Khalil Mack.
Oh, no!
Hey, Mack is the truth.
What a game he had today.
Yeah, Denver recovered, so that's a safety. So Oakland's down 12-9. Mack with 5 sacks.
5 sacks.
5.
That's
You have 5
He
sacks.
leads the NFL with 14 going into the Sunday night game.
Oh,
Then
no.
Emmanuel Sanders coughs it up on a punt. John Condo, I have a nice condo down there in Denver. He recovers it, and Jack Del Rio's pumped up because his team's in the red zone. Then it's Carr, Michael Rivera.
They fake the bubble screen and they put it up in the seam. Well-designed play. Take the lead.
Now they went for 2 because Condo hurt his shoulder, and so they didn't trust anybody else to long snap it. They missed on the 2-point conversion, so all Denver needed was a field goal to tie. Well, ensuing Denver possession, Brandon McManus from 49. Doink! Wow. That really could have backfired on the Raiders, although I guess Jack Del Rio had no choice since his long snapper was injured. In the meantime, Vernon's Davis, are you kidding me? On 4th and 5.
Start that mess, Vernon.
Oh, yeah. So the Raiders regain possession, but they would be forced to punt. Then it's Osweiler looking for Sanders. Did he get it? Nope. Ruled incomplete. You take another look. And the big hit by T.J. Terry. Gary Kubiak's thinking to himself, all right, it's 4th and 12. What do I call here? That would be, please don't. They're rushing 2 guys. 3, kind of.
Well, he just thought somebody.
That was actually an impressive toss, but that'll do it.
Big
Osweiler loses for the first time as a starter. Del Rio gets a big win. First time in their last 9 tries against Denver.
You talked about it last year and how many close sacks he got or didn't get. This year, he's getting them.
What's up?
On 3rd down. Osweiler is dumped. Back at the 15, Khalil Mack. Emmanuel Sanders lines up in the backfield. Trying to get to Osweiler. Osweiler loses the football. A scrum for it in the end zone.
Right side of the screen, he's just going to overpower Schofield. gets his left hand on Osweiler and finishes the job.
Oakland electing to go for 2. Osweiler devoured. It's Mack with another sack. Number 3 for Khalil Mack. Dexter McDonald, a rookie from Kansas, 7th-round pick, is now in. Look out, Osweiler. They trail 15-12. Osweiler in trouble. Osweiler brought down. Khalil Mack, 5 sacks on the day for Mack.